It's English time! Hi, I'm Teacher Mitch. Come and join me as we learn English the easy way. Subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell to keep updated with my latest uploads. Please also share and hit the like button if you appreciate my videos. Thank you! Kamusta kayo, Grade 7? Nasa week 6 na tayo. Kaunti na lang at matatapos na rin ang quarter 2. Tara na at magsimula na tayo sa ating discussion. Our target lesson for this video is steps in the writing process, specifically pre-writing and drafting. Since you are now knowledgeable about the types of literary text for composition and on how to select a literary text type based on the meaning and purpose, I presume you are now ready to compose literary text. For this video, we will focus on the following: determining the steps in the writing process, particularly pre-writing and drafting stage; constructing a timeline of events for a short story; and writing a draft of your short story. To give you a general overview of the writing process, here is a simple illustration of its steps. Step 1. Pre-writing, or the think stage. Step 2. Drafting, or the write stage. Step 3. Revising, or the make it better stage. And finally, Step 4. Editing, or the make it correct stage. Pre-writing. It is the first stage of the writing process where ideas and plans are generated and organized before drafting begins. That is why it is also called as the think stage. It involves activities to help writers explore their topic, clarify their thoughts, and decide on the direction of their writing. Here is a guide or checklist as you do the pre-writing stage. Decide on a topic to write about. Decide who will read or listen to your written work. Brainstorm ideas about the topic. Use a graphic organizer, for example, Story Map, to organize your ideas. Do your research if necessary. Meanwhile, here are some key pre-writing techniques or strategies used to generate, organize, and refine ideas before drafting. Number 1. Brainstorming. It is the process of quickly listing ideas about a topic without worrying about organization or relevance. The goal is to generate as many ideas as possible. 2. Free writing. It involves writing non-stop for a set amount of time, example, 5 to 10 minutes, without worrying about grammar, punctuation, or even coherence. Writers just jot down everything that comes to mind. 3. Mapping. It is using graphic organizers like mind maps or story maps to visualize ideas and connections. 4. Outlining. It is the process of arranging the main points and supporting details in a structured sequential plan. Outlines often follow a hierarchical format, showing the main sections and subsections of the piece. And 5. Researching. Researching involves gathering information from various sources related to the topic. This is essential if the topic requires factual support, expert opinions, or background knowledge. For this particular video, I'll be teaching you how to do the pre-writing stage using a story timeline. Here is an illustration of a story timeline. And to easily accomplish each part, here are some guide questions to help you what to write. For the exposition part, here are the following guide questions. When and where did the story happen? How did the story begin? What was the character situation in the beginning of the story? For the rising action, what conflict or problem was encountered by the character or characters? For the climax, how did the character confront the problem? What is the turning point of the story? Falling action, how did the character solve the problem or conflict? What happened after the most intense part of the story? And for the resolution, how did the story end? Based on this story timeline, you will write the draft of your composition. If a story timeline is a summary, the draft is the longer version with added details and dialogues between or among characters. In addition, drafts are written in paragraphs and that the sentences should not necessarily be perfect. The first few parts are provided for you, and you may just continue working on the rest. I have used the short story we discussed before, The We Filipinos Are Mild Drinkers, as our example. Here is a sample exposition part of our story timeline. In 1945, it was a common sight for Filipinos to see American soldiers who were subject to the influence of alcohol. One day, an American soldier named Joe asked a Filipino farmer where he could find a bar in the barrio. And from this story timeline, I composed my draft. It was the year 1945 when the Americans came back to the Philippines after World War II. In our barrio, it was common to see American soldiers who were drunk. One day, as I was working in the field, an American soldier passed by and asked, "Hey, amigo, do you know any bars around here?" Rising action. Because there were no bars in the barrio, the farmer invited Joe to his nipa hut and offered lambanog. Joe got drunk while the farmer didn't. Climax. Since Joe was so drunk, he mistook the farmer as a Japanese soldier and the farmer's mother as a kimono girl. She screamed, ran, and alarmed the people in the barrio. Draft. There is none that I know of Joe. We Filipinos don't drink whiskey. Why don't you just go with me so I can offer you lambanog? It's our local drink, but I am not sure if you will like it. Joe smiled and accepted my offer. So, I hurriedly attended to my carabao and got ready to go home. Falling action. After the American soldier became delusional, he passed out. Resolution. So, the Filipino farmer brought the soldier back to his camp where he was offered a can of beer. However, he refused, saying that Filipinos are mild drinkers. Now, for the falling action and resolution parts, you will be the one to compose your draft. Again, I would like to remind you that draft is the longer version with added details and dialogues between or among characters, and that the sentences should not necessarily be perfect. Go ahead and try completing your draft. You can do it! Good luck! Thanks for watching!